Rabbi, welcome back to Yerushalmi. It's been a few weeks. We had Pesach a few weeks, but we are back in Maaser Sheni, beginning of Maaser Sheni. Of course, the Maaser Sheni, the Torah talks about Maaser Dagam Chatirosh Chavi Haracha. We have in Parshas Re'eh the mitzvah to separate Maaser Sheni to take to Yerushalmi. It applies in years 1, 2, 4, and 5 of the 7-year cycle. First separate Truma Gedaila, then you separate Maaser Rishon, and then the 10th goes as Maaser Sheni, which of course has to be taken to Yerushalmi and eaten there. It's given for eating, drinking, anointing, etc. And if you can't bring it to Yerushalmi, you have to redeem it and take the money to Yerushalmi. So that's what we're going to discuss in this Masechet. Okay, and it's got Kedusha and it's Machlekes Tanaim. Whether that applies nowadays or not, is it min Torah, min Rabbanan? The halacha is machlekes about it. Nowadays we paskin it's Rabbanan. Okay, so we are right at the beginning of Maaser Sheni. So Maaser Sheni, so you cannot sell it, and you can't. A creditor can't take from a debtor Maaser Sheni as a pledge for a debt. You cannot swap it for other things because that's considered like a sale. And if you have fruit of Maaser Sheni at a set weight, you cannot weigh other chulin fruit on a scales against your Maaser Sheni weight to know its weight. So you're using your Maaser Sheni as a scales to provide a weight idea, because that's again it's designed for the Kedusha of Maaser Sheni. A person should not tell his friend, even in Yerushalmi, take this wine of Maaser Sheni, v'teli shemen, and give me oil. You cannot sell or swap Maaser Sheni even in Yerushalmi. Okay, and all other types of fruit of Maaser Sheni you cannot swap them. You can give Maaser Sheni as a gift, right? You can give it as a gift to someone else. Okay. Maaser Behema. Now, we spoke about Maaser Sheni. We're talking about a similar issue with Maaser Behema, right? Maaser Behema, you have to separate 1 in 10 from all the Torah animals that are born to you in every year, and they're called Maaser, and you offer them. The fats go on the Mizbeach. The flesh can be eaten in Yerushalmi by the owners. If there's a blemish, then they are slaughtered and can be eaten through the owner wherever, right? Like chulin. So Maaser Behema, you can't sell it when it's unblemished, chai, if it's living. Nor if it is you can't sell it when it is blemished. Start again. You can't sell it tamim if it's alive. You cannot sell it if it is blemished, chai v'shachor, not if it's alive or slaughtered. So it can't be sold anyway, basically, not tamim, not balmum, not chai, not shachut. The reason the Mishnah says tamim chai, we'll see that in the Gemara. So you cannot use it to be mekadosh a woman, because kedushin of a woman has got a din of a sale. If you're acquiring a woman for the sake of the Maaser Behema, so you cannot use it for kedushin. Now, habachor behema, right? The B'char Behema Tahira, which is Kaddish Merechem, and you give it to the Kohen whether it's perfect without blemish or whether it has a blemish, but of course B'char Tam you have to bring it on the Mizbeach. So B'char, Mochin Oisei Tamim, the Kohen who received a B'char can sell it, if it's Tamim, if there's nothing wrong with it, you can sell it Chai while it's alive. U'Ba'al and a B'char which has got a blemish, it can be sold whether it's Chai or Shachad, whether it's alive or slaughtered. You can use it for Kedushin. Okay? Now when it comes to redeeming Maaser Sheni, you cannot use a coin which hasn't got a proper surah on it, like sort of a blank die of some kind. Right? It hasn't got a surah. Other pirushim on it. Okay, nor can you redeem it onto a coin which is not usable. It's not acceptable in the business world. Let's say the government which issued it is no longer in power and things like that. Yeah. Nor can you use it with money which is not in your domain, that you can't reach, you can't get hold of easily. Let's say if your money's fallen into the sea, you can't use that money. Okay. Maaser Sheni ein Meichel Noiser. So you can't sell Maaser Sheni, you can't use it as a pledge. Ein Meichel Noiser, because where the Torah says Kedusha, right? A Lashon of Kedusha, right? And since selling is a mundane thing, it's like Bizoi to Kedusha. Right, the pasuk over there in Vayikra 27:30. Hey, mamashkin noisim neisha kasab by baracha. There's lashon ki baracha Hashem lekech. Hashem will bless you. So we learn you can't use Maaser Sheni if it's not a bracha, and a pledge for a debt is not a bracha to the debtor. So you cannot use that, right? You can't use that as Maaser Sheni. Now, so where do we see you cannot sell it? Don't tell your friend, you take this piece of Maaser Sheni, this fruit, worth 100 zuz, but tell me buy 50 zuz, give me 50 zuz of chulin instead. You can't do that. Man Tana, who is the Tana who learned in our Mishnah, that you cannot sell Maaser Sheni? It's Reb Meir. That according to him, Maaser Sheni is considered heavenly money, Mammon Gavaya, right? It's Kedushas Chamura, and you cannot sell it. But Rabbi Yehuda, according to Rabbi Yehuda, who holds Maaser Sheni is Mammon of the owners, but Dinhu, Shehem Mutar Machre, well, you should be able to sell it. Make Kavachai, we got Kavachai. Man Truma Shiasur Lazarim. Now Truma is also to Israel to eat, and yet Mutar Machre is allowed to sell it. Let's say he inherited it from a grandparent, whatever it is, he's allowed to sell it. Maaser Sheni, which doesn't have the same restrictions. Shul Mutar Lazarim, right? Israel's allowed to eat Maaser Sheni. Everyone eats Maaser Sheni. So Ein Adin, Shehem Mutar Machre. How much more? So you should be able to sell it. So that is a Kavachayma. According to Yehuda, we should say this Kavachayma. The one says, no, like, Truma, it's all very well you can sell Truma, but that's because She'ena Tu'una Mechitza, it doesn't have to be within Yerushalmi. Whereas time of Maaser Sheni's got an added restriction that what? It has to be Shutam Mechitza, it needs to be in Yerushalmi. But then everyone says, well, B'Kori B'Achichu, the Chiyuv to eat within the walls can't cause this of selling, because She'en Tu'una Mechitza, they have to be eaten within Yerushalmi. You can sell them, Mutzah Machman, you can sell that. He says, no. If a matter be bikurim, it's all very well bikurim, you can sell it because it's more lenient than Maaser Sheni. She'ein on Tosin as the man. They don't hold their value. You know, if you buy bikurim, you give money for it, the Kedusha doesn't go into the money, and the money remains chulin. So therefore we can be lenient about selling it, as opposed to Maaser Sheni, type of Maaser Sheni, which is more severe. Shul Tovas Damav. It keeps its Kedusha when you redeem it, right? The money takes on that holy aspect, right? When you redeem it. So therefore, maybe because of that chumrah, we should be machmir to forbid you to sell it. Now, he says over here, the reason why Maaser Sheni holds on to its money and Bikurim doesn't is because Maaser Sheni can be redeemed. That is the reason. And the Kedusha goes on the money. But that's what redemption is, right? That's why the Kedusha goes on the money, because you are redeeming the Maaser Sheni. Bikurim, you can't be mechalel Kedusha and put it on the money. Right? So that's a chumrah b'Bikurim, and it's kule Maaser Sheni, really. He says still it's considered a chumrah Maaser Sheni. At the end of the day, Maaser Sheni can have Kedusha on its money, and Bikurim can't have Kedusha on its money. Anyway, back to the Gemara then. Shavias Takiah. Shavias will show you that Kedusha's Peres with money, which is given, it doesn't cause the issue of selling. Because Shehi Tefesis is the Mel, because of course when you sell Shavias, right, the Kedusha Shavias goes onto the money, like the fruit. Nevertheless, Mutzah Machra, you're allowed to sell the Shavias produce. So basically we can learn, according to Yehuda, you're allowed to sell Maaser Sheni. What proof is this? Mazu. He says, Mechirasa shel Shvius hi chilula. When you're selling Shvius produce, the money takes on Kedusha Shvius. So you're not being mezalzel in Shvius. The money goes and takes on the Kedusha Shvius. You can't learn from here to allow selling Maaser Sheni where the money does not take the Kedusha of the Maaser. So the pushing away of the Kavachayma stays where it is. We have no source to say that according to Yehuda you should be able to sell Maaser Sheni. Now the Gemara brings an Amora who proves another way that according to Yehuda you can definitely sell Maaser Sheni. Rabbi Yirmiyah said, Man Tana, who is the Tana that Mishnah who says you can't sell it? It's from Meir. The Meir holds you can't. it's Mammon Gavaya, you can't sell it. But Ram Krab Yudan, but Kunjab Yuda, who holds Maaser Sheni is Mammon Balim, but Dinu Shehi Mutal Machra. So he also says, as we said before, you should be allowed to sell it. Mi Kava Chayma, with a Kava Chayma. What's a Kava Chayma? Ma'im Shvius, Sheim Poin Chayma Damar. Shvius. Okay. Shvius, you can't start paying debts with it. Can't start paying back debts. It says it's considered as doing merchandise, doing business, which is forbidden with money of shvius. Nevertheless, mutar l'machar, you're allowed to sell it. Maaser Sheni sheparei chayv midamav. So Maaser Sheni, this is by the way only according to Yehuda. He holds his right, mom and hedyot. Okay, so he holds you can pay back a debt with it. And then shei mutar l'machar, so you should be allowed to sell it as well. Now, how do you know you can pay a debt with Maaser Sheni? Where do you see you can pay a debt with Maaser Sheni? We've learned about someone who's selling Maaser Sheni in a permitted way. Let's say he's selling it in order that Kedushas Taperes should go onto the money. And it says, if let's say the person who's buying it off him from the seller, Maaser. Now imagine he's buying Maaser Sheni and it's worth a seller. Okay, Maaser Sheni for the value of a seller. But the whole redemption didn't take place. He's not yet paid back the money. Meanwhile, the Maaser Sheni has gone up in value. Ad she'amad b'shtayim is now worth 2 slime. So by the time he did the Mashicha when it was worth 1 seller, but he's not paid yet, and now it's worth 2. So the din is the buyer has to pay 1. The value at the time of Mashicha. He acquired it at the time of Mashicha. Okay? And therefore the price was based on the value at that time. Now since the fruit doesn't go to Chulin, but you need the money to make the food go to Chulin, and at the time of giving the money it's worth more, 2 slime, he has to separate an extra seller to complete the redemption. And that seller belongs to the buyer. The seller only gets the price, which is the 1 seller. The seller gets the 1 seller, but the buyer has to spend 2 slime. So, similarly, if it was the other way around, if at the time of taking the food it was worth 2 slime, at the time of giving the money it's gone down in value, it's only worth 1 seller, so the buyer has to give the seller 2 slime, which was the price when he did Mashicha. At the time when he's giving the money, it's gone down in price and only worth 1 seller. So the amount that's needed for redemption is 1 seller. So the buyer can give the second seller, which he owes to the moicher, he can use money which he already has with Kedushas Maaser Sheni. Okay? Because the seller was going to receive 2 sloim which had Kedushas Maaser Sheni. Okay, now what do we get from this? From this last din, that a buyer can pay to a seller 1 seller with the value of the Maaser Sheni, you see you're allowed to pay a debt back from Maaser Sheni money. That's what you see from here. And it's not like Shvius money. Therefore, Rabbi Yehuda can learn with a Kavachayma that Maaser Sheni you can sell it. Rabbi Yaisi, like Rabbi Yaisi said, Shani, that's different. From the first time when you did Mashicha, the Maaser Sheni, Chayav, you were Chayav to pay the debt of the Maaser Sheni. The seller had to receive money which had Kedushas Maaser Sheni, and since the Chayiv was from the beginning of Maaser Sheni, you could pay it with Maaser Sheni. It's not considered a zilzil in Maaser. He says, Ilu Chayiv Hayalai. If it was talking about a case where there was a normal debt of Chulin and not Maaser Sheni, and the Mishnah is telling you, Nasan like Maaser, you pay Maaser Sheni to pay back the Chulin, then I understand that you can pay a debt back from the main Maaser Sheni. But he says here, the whole thing from the beginning, it was Maaser Sheni. So it's not the same. Basically, there's no raya you can pay a normal debt from a chiyuv of some debt with the money of Maaser Sheni. So the Kavachayma falls away from Shemitah. So the reason that Rabbi Yehuda argues in our Mishnah who holds you can sell Maaser Sheni, we haven't necessarily got a proof for that. Anyway, the Gemara now comes to prove that even Rabbi Yehuda really does agree. You're allowed that he agrees that you cannot sell Maaser Sheni, right? We're going to prove it the other way around now and say that actually he holds you can't sell Maaser Sheni. Rabbi Yehuda said, there's a Mishnah which tells us that Maaser Sheni is also the Machra. You cannot sell it to anyone else. And even Rabbi Yehuda, the Tanilan Tama, we've learnt in Bavli and Kiddushin, there's a Mishnah there, Rabbi Yehuda said, one who's Mekadosh a woman with Maaser Sheni, if it's bemazed, basically you knew, if it's bemazed, you knew that it's Maaser Sheni, Kiddush, then the Kiddushin is Chal. But if it's B'Shoigeg, they didn't know it's Maaser Sheni, like Kiddush, then it's not valid. Why? Because we were worried maybe the woman wouldn't agree to receive it if she knew that, she has to bother and take it to Shalayim. That was the case in Yom Kaddish, a woman with Maaser Sheni, right? She's got to take this to Shalayim, right? So we're worried she wouldn't agree to receive it had she known she has to bother to go to Shalayim. Now it's mashma from the words of Yehuda that even b'mezid is not chal, only b'diavad. And if that's the case, if you're going to tell me that Maaser Sheni, you're allowed to sell it according to Yehuda, then you should use it for Kiddushin as well. Because we have a rule, anything you can sell, you can use for Kiddushin. If you can't sell it, also the Kaddish, you can't use it for Kiddushin. You have to say that Yehuda holds Maaser Sheni, you cannot sell it. Okay, and then one brings a raya that Kiddushin and a sale have got the same din. We've learned elsewhere. You cannot buy servers or lands or non-kosher animals from Shvius money. In Lakach, if you did buy them, then you should buy more food which you can eat, for Yochal, and eat that value of Kedusha Shvius on proper food, Kenegdon, corresponding to the amount that you spent already. So the food has to be worth that Shemitah money you spent on the wrong things. You have to now spend a certain amount of money on the right things. And on that, Rabbi Yosef, this tells me you cannot be a Mekadosh woman with Shvius, because if that wasn't the case, otherwise we could have said Mabin Kanesh or Mabin Kaneshifcha. What's the difference between Mekadosh woman and Mekadosh maid servant? What do we see from here? You see from Rabbi Yosef there's one din for Kiddushin and for a sale, right? And that's like Rabbi Yehuda, who proves that the fact that Rabbi Yehuda forbade you to be Mekadosh woman for Maaser Sheni, the same din that you cannot sell it. Okay? Alright, Iva, we're on base on base.
That's okay.
Yeah? Okay. Now the Gemara brings another Amora who also holds that according to Yehuda, you cannot sell Maaser Sheni. Okay? Why? One of the reasons, by the way, why they don't like you selling it is, again, they want everyone to go to Shalayim, right? You would pick up the fear, you would see the Chachamim there, the Sanhedrin. Okay. Now another Amora holds that even according to Yehuda, you cannot sell Maaser Sheni, and we'll see what the reason is. Rabbi Yosef Shem Zira, Rabbi Yutam Shem Rabbi Yila, Divra Akali, yeah, everyone holds. Even if Yehuda agrees, you cannot sell fruit of Maaser Sheni. Because you are being mavazi, you're despising it, you're reducing its value. Rabbi Yosef Shem Rabbi, he says Divra Akali, yeah, everyone, even Rabbi Yehuda agrees, you cannot sell Maaser Sheni. Gideshu Akal, Zukukin Mchisach. We want everyone to go out to Shalayim, to the walls of the city, and the people will come, and because of that will strengthen the city. Therefore, Yehuda doesn't want you to sell it, because it will stop people going up to Shalayim. Oh, I'll sell it to others who are going anyway, and I'll get out of it. I won't bother taking the fruit to Shalayim. Okay. Now, you cannot take Maaser Sheni for a pledge, for a debt. So we discuss this now. So what do you mean? In what situation we're not allowed to take Maaser Sheni as a pledge for a debt? You go into your friend's house, right, to take a pledge. The time of the debt has come. He's got no money. And Shtech Beistin goes in to take a pledge. He should not take his Maaser Sheni. Yeah. Tani, we learned to the price of Lema Hilinoso. Now, the Levi is not allowed to give his Maaser Sheni to his friend in order to so he should lend him money. Here, here's Maaser Sheni, here, lend me the money. You don't give it to the shopkeeper in order to buy food from him, from the grocer. And the Maaser Sheni, that will be my guarantee, that you'll get your money. That's also considered a pledge, and it is forbidden. Alvaro Mishkin. Now, what happens if the creditor did take the Maaser Sheni as a pledge? Or Alvar Vehirhem, or the debtor went and was Meshabed to the Malva. Here's my Maaser Sheni stuff so I can get food from the grocer. What's the din? Is there a class in such a case? Do we have to give the pledge back? What's the din? So the Gemara brings a brisa which talks about the fruits of Maaser Sheni where they used it wrongly. Let's see. Excuse me. Yeva Kahdo. Will be like the following case. Brought in a brisa. One who eats his Maaser Sheni outside Yerushalmi. He should never have eaten it outside Yerushalmi. Whether it's intentional or not, Yitzhak l'shamayim. Should pray, he should be forgiven for this issur. That's enough. Rabbi said, B'shogeg. Okay, you made a mistake. Yitzhak l'shamayim. You do teshuvah. But Mazid, if you intentionally did it, of course you have to ask for forgiveness. But also, Yasru Damav, give back that value. Whatever you ate, Lim Komon, take it back to Shalayim. You have to eat other food of Chulin to the value of that Maaser Sheni that you ate in the wrong place. It's a fine, yeah? It's a knas of what you ate wrongly. And the Bryce explains as far as money of Maaser Sheni, where you used it wrongly, it's more severe. So if you've got money that you've used wrongly, so it's one thing you ate the fruits in the wrong place, that's one thing. But if you've got money of Maaser Sheni, which you did the wrong thing, it's worse, whether according to Gamliel or Rabbi. If it was money of Maaser Sheni, you used it wrongly. You bought things which is not food. If you did it b'shaygeg, inside the Shemaim, you pray to heaven. B'mezid, Yasru Damav Lim Koman. You have to go back from the seller, get the money back that you received for the Maaser Sheni. You basically have to give the Moicha Chulin instead of the Maaser Sheni that he's got. You've got to give him Chulin and take it to Shalayim. Yeah? You have to get back from the seller the money of the Maaser Sheni that you received. You have to basically give to the seller Mois Chulin in exchange for the money of the Maaser Sheni that he has, and you take that to Shalayim. Now, even the earlier case of fruit, Shem Gamliel didn't say you have to go back to take the place, even b'mezid. But with money, it's worse. You can be masaking what you did. You have to take the money back, and that's what you have to do. Rabbi said, whether you did it intentionally or not, Yasru Damavim coming. Basically, you have to start again. You can be correcting it. You get the money back, give him something else in between instead, and get the money back. So even shogeg, you have to do this. So with money, things are more severe. Rav Zrika b'Shem Chizkiah. Halacha k'Rebbe b'Mois. The halacha is like Rebbe, that with money, that wherever happens, shogeg, mazid, you've got to get the money back and take it to Shalayim. But as far as the fruit is concerned, that even shogeg or mazid, you just cry to Shamayim and that's enough. So we're a bit more lenient if you ate the fruit outside. But with the money, if you ended up using the money for the wrong thing, whatever, you have to get the money back and use it for the right thing. Okay, so the more worried with money, you might make a mistake. The seller will think the money has gone into chulin and use it as chulin, and the buyer is sort of causing him to stumble. So he has to correct. He has to be mechalel the money which the seller has on the money which he has, and take that to Shalayim and treat it as Maaser Sheni. Okay. Rabbi said, there was a story about Hira, they passed him to be machmeh k'Rebbe b'mois, like Rebbe with money of Maaser Sheni. So whether it's shogeg or mazid, you've got to get the money back. And based on this psak, even in a situation of Maaser Sheni, let's say, which is given or bought as a pledge, let's say we're not going to put a knas and have to give the pledge back, right? This is more a case of fruit, right? When you've got a pledge, it's like a case of peiros, where we weren't so strict. Right, there was no knas b'di'evad in such a case. That could be that we'd be a bit more lenient than with a pledge if it was already done. But then Brogma brings another raya. Maybe we can learn that Maaser Sheni that was used for a pledge, there's no knas. Still agreeing with the same din, that we won't be so severe. But we've learnt in Shvius. Now this is another din where you did something wrong. You planted trees too close to Shemitah year. Remember we learnt about that. You cannot plant a tree with mavrichin, or mavrichin again is when you're putting the thing back in the ground. Yeah, you're grafting together the branch. You're bending it back into the ground to create a new vine. Or or grafting together one branch from one tree to another. Erev Shvius, you can't do it just just before Shemitah. Less than 30 days before. If you did do any of these things, you have to uproot that little sapling, whatever you did. Now, what happens if you planted it but you didn't uproot it? What's the din on the fruit? What's the din on the fruit? Rabbi Bar, Rabbi Ila, they were sitting in Zohar to commence. Story came before them. They passed to Rabbi Ila, that the fruit should be spilt. Basically, the fruit's forbidden. Rabbi Bar says, I was not with them, Ba'aliyah in the attic when they passed to forbid the fruit. I was not there. Nafkim v'shaman Rabbi Ila went out. They heard the following words: Rabbi Yaina, Rabbi Yisrael Tzavlai, Rabbi Lazar, Ein Mechadjin on Exera. You cannot put new decrees on a decree that's already there. Rabbi Yisrael Tzavlai, Rabbi Lazar, Ein Moisifin. You cannot carry on making gezeras on the halacha, and the halacha is already here. You can't go too far. So if you already planted, they put Chacham said, right, you should uproot it. And if you didn't uproot it, we can't start adding on to put gezeras to forbid the fruit. So from this story, you see any situation where we don't find the machmir with a knas, we can't start making new knasos, right? Since we don't find in any case where they put a knas on someone who put a pledge or whatever it is, therefore we shouldn't put a fine. We shouldn't put a fine in such a case if someone took Maaser Sheni as a pledge. Rabbi Yaakov Barach of Shem Zir, he says, "Mandatory from that which you learn, you cannot take a pledge. You can't take it. You can't take a pledge. You can't take Maaser Sheni as a pledge. Hada Amra, that tells me, over mashkin, if you did, over hearing the guy gave his Maaser Sheni so he could buy the fruit, we will put a knaf. That you can't do it. You can't even give your stuff as a pledge so that you can buy some fruit. Basically, the Chachamim was strict with this issur. So they probably went and forbade everything. And they said, if you've gone against it, we're not happy. You follow? That's what he's saying here. The fact they said you can't be mamashkin, you can't do it, it tells me that if mishkin, if you did, then there'll be a class in such a case. Okay. Still with me, Rabbi Stein? Yeah? Now, what about you can't use Maaser Sheni as a weight, as a measuring weight to weigh up other things of chulin. You cannot weigh corresponding to the Maaser Sheni mois, other money, afilu selah shel chulin. A coin of chulin, you last a selah shel Maaser Sheni, you want to make it into a selah for Maaser Sheni, you want to redeem Maaser Sheni fruit on it, and you're weighing it for the sake of the mitzvah, it is forbidden. If you had a Maaser Sheni selah, coin, you know its weight. Can you weigh up another selah of Maaser Sheni so that also you'll know its weight? And also, brothers that divide Maaser Sheni, they got as an inheritance. Can they weigh up the various parts to know that they have an equal share? You could say it's not a bizarre Maaser Sheni, maybe it's only bizarre of using it for chulin. Here they're weighing it. Maaser Sheni, maybe it's not so bad, but maybe any use of Maaser as a weighing mechanism maybe is a problem. Very good question. We have no answer. The Bavli says, some say when brothers divide Yerusha, we don't say it's huvra l'mafreya, it was retroactive that each one gets a share when the father died. It could be the share that this brother gets was an inheritance and they're dividing it between them. According to this, we should actually forbid dividing Maaser Sheni's Yerusha. It's like a swapping, according to that. You have to be mechalal it and then divide it. But it could be the issa to sell is only because of zilz and kedusha. That's not shaykh here. Here it's swapping as part of the Yerusha estate that's being given out. So maybe it's not a problem. Okay, how are we doing? A person should not tell his friends, here, take some wine and give me oil. So now, we've learned in the Brayso, do not tell your friend, even Yerushalmi, here's the wine. Tell me shemen, give me oil. Here's the oil. Tell me give me wine. You can say, you know what? Take the wine because you haven't got wine. And then the friend can answer back. You know what? Yeah, he's such a nice guy. Here, you have some oil. You haven't got oil. Right? The one who's giving wine never said you must give me oil. So that's fine. It's not considered a swap. Now, can you say, hey lecha yayin, here, take wine because I have no oil? Can you say that? Take wine, I have no oil. Sheili shemen. Our boimer, they wanted to say also it's forbidden because like Chalipin, Ashkaf Tzanim, we found a Bryce that we said, Mutza, it is permitted. Now, Chalipin, but surely you're giving the oil for the wine. It says, look, the one who's giving the wine can't go to court to take the oil back from the other guy, therefore it's not a proper swap. You can't take him to court to get it. For what purpose was it said, oh, here's the wine, I have no oil? If you didn't intend to get the oil back, why did you say, here's the wine, I have no oil? Right? What are you trying to say here by saying, I have no oil? Surely you are demanding oil back. Why mention, I have no oil? So the Gemara answers, you know what? Had I had oil, I would have given you that as well. Here's the wine, I have no oil. Sorry, I can't give you the oil, I have no oil. That was his intention. You get it? You like it? They can give Maaser Sheni as a gift one to the other. The mission like the real Rameh. The Rameh holds as far as giving fields back in Yovel. A gift is not like a sale. You can't sell Maaser Sheni, but you can give it as a gift. According to the Chachamim, there's no difference between a gift and a sale. You can't even give it as a gift, just like you can't sell it. So they say you can't give it as a gift. But Rameh, you can't give it as a gift. A gift is not like a sale. Oh, Rabbi Yosef says no. Everyone holds. Divrei Kol here. Everyone holds. Even the Chachamim agree a gift is usually like a sale. But Hacha here, giving as a gift is permitted according to everyone. Kahadadatam, like that which we learned in the Brayso. So Adam, a person said Yerushalmi Maaser. Okay, Rabbi, so we've got a riddle for you here. Okay, you ready for this riddle? If I say to somebody in Yerushalmi, to his friend, your friend you're eating, oh, what did you eat when you ate out? He says, I had summer fruit. Rabbi said, what does summer fruit mean? I know what he means. The one who's asking, I know what you mean when he said summer fruit. He ate meat which was behema b'char animal. That's what he referred to when he called it summer fruit. Now you're going to ask me, why is it called summer fruit? Iber? Why is it called summer fruit? You're going to ask me. Why is it called summer fruit? He says, because summer fruit is cheap. Summer fruit is cheap. And b'char meat is also cheap. Now let's say you also ate something else. There's another riddle for you. And you ask a friend, what did you eat? What did you eat? And he said, I ate the man. I ate the man, the manna. I know what you ate. Maaser Sheni. You ate Maaser Sheni. Right, Maaser Sheni, which was being bought to buy some food, meat, whatever it was. Now, man nitin. You're going to ask me, what's the connection between man and Maaser Sheni? Man nitin b'matana. The man was given as a gift to the Jewish people in the Midbar. Of Maaser Sheni, although you can't sell it, you can give it as a gift. Nitin b'matana.
Just say, what did you eat?
I ate Maaser Sheni.
What did you eat? Maaser Sheni.
Yeah, but this is the riddle. So now you know, if you ask anyone, what is summer fruit? Summer fruit is b'chor. And if you ask someone, what did you eat? I ate the man is Maaser Sheni. Now you know when you answer whatever the riddle's ever asked against you, you will know the answer. Now what do we see from this writer? They would give their guests, they invited them for a meal, they would give them Maaser Sheni. And he says, even according to the Chachamim, matana is usually like a sale, but this sort of gift is not considered a sale. So it could be the Mishnah talking about this type of gift, and even according to the Chachamim. And that's permitted because this sort of gift where you invite someone for a meal is fine. Hativun. Bnei Yeshiva asked on the first opinion, who said, oh no, only Rameh would hold this gift is okay. But Chachamim would have a problem with it. Arei Maaser Behema, he says, Divrei Hakol, everyone would agree, in a nimka, it can't be sold. V'atamat, and you're saying this din is well known that nitan, the matana, can be given to a guest on this table. So this gift, according to everyone, is not like a sale. And therefore the same thing Abzeh, Nitin Matana. He says also Maaser Sheni can be given as a gift according to everyone. He says, what's he saying? Basically, everyone's saying it's okay. Maaser Behema, Maaser Behema, maybe not Maaser Sheni, but Maaser Behema, right? Everyone holds it's not been sold, and yet everyone holds it can be given as a gift. So therefore, this matana, everyone holds it's not like a sale. So Maaser Sheni should have the same din. You hear that? Just like Maaser Behema can be given to anyone, so Maaser Sheni should be given to anyone as a gift, according to everyone. Now it's all very well, according to Rameir, yes, the Mishnah can be explained. Ramana lo amakein. He didn't say it. He said no. It can only be like Rameir. Only Rameir. But like Rabbi Yehuda, say again. He held, no, it's not like Ramana lo amakein. He didn't say that. He basically held it can't be Rameir. And like Rabbi Yehuda, he wanted to say our Mishnah is only like Rabbi Yehuda, the other opinion. Rabbi Yehuda said, Asa, we treat Maaser Sheni in your estate k'nechasav, like the owner. The owner can give Maaser Sheni as a gift. He says only Rabbi Yehuda holds this because according to Rabbi Meir, that Maaser Sheni is mom and gavoya, heavenly money. You can't give it as a gift. It doesn't belong to you. So you want to say, well, not Rabbi Meir, the other extreme. It's only Rabbi Yehuda. But Hatzivum, whatever they asked against him. Well, Maaser Behema definitely can be given. That's definitely mom and gavoya, and that can definitely Maaser Behema, right? The korban Maaser Behema can be given. The meat you eat can be given as a gift. It can be given. Therefore, Abzes and Maaser Sheni as well. Nitin b'matana can definitely be given as a gift, even according to Rameir. Maaser Behema. I don't know how far we can go here. Definitely get to 2 dots. Yeah. Maaser Behema. Is there any? We'll get to the 2 dots and down over there. Maaser Behema, Tamim Chai. The Mishnah is Nashra. Maaser Behema, if there's no blemish, you're allowed to sell it when it's been slaughtered. And now, Hashoichet, one who slaughters Maaser Behema with no blemish, Morto is allowed to sell it when it's slaughtered, right? Is he allowed to slaughter it and sell it when it's slaughtered? Tonight, the way Rav Yanai, they learnt in the base Medrash of Rav Yanai, this price was learnt, and it said, Laishan, there's no difference between Maaser Behema, bein chai, bein shachot, whether it's alive or slaughtered, bein tamim, bein balmum, whether it's perfect or blemished. Maaser Behema, you cannot sell it. But why did the Mishnah say the issue of selling is only chai, when it's alive? We didn't mention when it's slaughtered. The reason is, begin this in the Basra, we want to mention the piece afterwards. You can sell it perfect when it's alive, and when it's blemished, it can be sold chai v'shachot, live or dead, whether it's live or whether it's slaughtered. So the Mishnah stresses with Maaser Behema, tamim, you cannot sell it when it's alive, because we want to tell you the difference with b'chor, that it's got a din that it's sold when it's alive, but the truth is Maaser Behema, tamim, you cannot sell it whether it's alive or slaughtered. Okay. The Gemara brings the source now that Maaser Behema you cannot sell it, and B'chai you can sell it. Rabbi Abba Bar Yaakov B'Shem Rabbi Yochanan Ne'emar Kan. It says here with Maaser Behema Lo Yigael, you cannot redeem it, right? Maaser Behema, you can't redeem it. V'Ne'emar B'Chemei Kohanim, what goes to the Kohanim? Lo Yimachav, Lo Yigael, you can't redeem it. We have Gzer Shabbat. Ma'ala Lo Yigael Ha'amor B'Chemei Kohanim. That mentioned with the Kohanim Eino Lo Nimko Lo Nimko Lo Yigael. Just like Chemei Kohanim, right? What people dedicate to the Kohanim. You can't redeem it or sell it. Af lo yigael ha'amul kan. So here's the same thing with Maaser Behema. Eino lo nimkab lo nigal. It can't be sold. It cannot be redeemed. Right? You can't redeem it. You can't sell it. Whereas b'chor, the Torah says there is a redemption with different words. It says lo tifteh, and that lashon didn't say lo yigael like you find with Maaser or cherem. So we learn that b'chor is only also only with a pidyon, but not with a sale. Rav Yaakov Jeremiah by Kumar Rav Yossi, he asked in front of Rav Yossi, Klum kasib b'b'chai. When the Torah says with the b'chai lo tifter, we learn, right, you're allowed to sell it, but never b'ba'amum. But that was said, it's not talking about a blemished animal there. It says the blood is sprinkled on the mizbeach. It's talking about a perfect b'chai, which is brought on the mizbeach. Where do you see that when it's a blemished one, you're allowed to sell it? Maybe only the perfect one. The Gemara answers, that the hetz of selling a bechor balmum is learned from the issur of selling a maser behema. So just like maser behema, there's no difference. The echilka Torah ben chai, ben shochet, it's alive, it's dead, ben tamim, ben balmum, whether it's perfect or blemished, and the Torah forbade any type of sale. So with bechor behema, there's no difference between whether it's blemished or perfect. The Torah allowed any type of sale. Okay, shall we? I think we will stop here, Rabbi Sai. Please come again.